This episode of Demon Slayer was an emotional roller coaster. It was funny, hardcore, and pretty sad all at the same time. The whirlwind of emotions felt during this episode was reminiscent of what I go through on a daily basis with my girlfriend. Babe, if you're watching this, I love you. But unlike the relationship I'm in, the same can't be said for Genya and Sanami. The two brothers have a pretty tense relationship. I mean, Sanami literally tried to harm his younger brother. And not only him, Obinai was also a jerk in this episode. No wonder the two get along so well. However, to understand why Obinai was being a jerk to Tanjiro, you need to know it all starts with Mitsuri. Why, you ask? Because he's in love with Mitsuri.
Serious?
Love is a funny thing. It'll make you take out a loan you don't need for someone else. It can also make you key someone's car when they cheat on you. And if the desire is strong enough, it might even help you awaken the Sharingan. But I digress. I can't really fault him for feeling some jealousy too, if the baddest chick in the verse is getting cozy with the main character. The two of them had an entire season to themselves, started bonding, and even fought together against Hantengu. Mitsuri's entire reason for joining the Demon Slayer Corps was to find a husband stronger than her. And so far it looks like she isn't going to find her husband among the Hashiras. Tanjiro slayed 2 upper ranks, possesses the original and strongest breathing form, and he's just got that swag. Tanjiro is so lucky that she's now feeding him pancakes. Pancakes. If I were Obinai, I'll be pissed off too. Being the love crusher, we all know that Mitsuri has to display the 5 love languages. And in this episode, she not only spent quality time with Tanjiro, but she also gave him that physical touch. Okay, Mitsuri, I see you. Feeding the boys pancakes, getting them to dress like ballerinas, and then brutally ending their bloodlines at the same time. It looks like Tanjiro wasn't familiar with her game. Just as I was enjoying seeing Tanjiro scream in pain, the episode shifts to Obinai. This episode gave Mitsuri literally 2 minutes of scream time. Bro, I couldn't believe it. Ufotable really did a bait and switch. I thought we were gonna get an entire Mitsuri episode. Even though her training was just flexibility work, it would have been great if they included some anime original content for Mitsuri, but oh well, the series is Kimetsu no Yaiba, not Kimetsu no Yoga. Besides, this part in the manga was just as short. I'm hoping Mitsuri gets justice in the next season though. Obinai is now the center of attention and is currently filled with envy since Mitsuri spread her legs for Tanjiro and not for him, poor guy. So he decides to take that personally and vows to make Tanjiro's life a living hell. Obinai lets his pettiness take over and creates a custom training regimen for Tanjiro. And oh my lord, what is happening to these demon slayers? Obinai tied up all these recruits to use them as test dummies just out of pure hatred for Tanjiro. The thing that's so messed up about this is that these recruits probably had normal training before Tanjiro got there, so he must have just rounded them all up for the Tanjiro sparring session. Bro needs to chill. He's giving off some weird Orochimaru vibes right now. As you might have guessed, the aim is to hit Obinai through the logs without hitting any of the other demon slayers. Though at first this training might seem cruel, which it is, who actually cares about fodder characters, am I right? This is all for the greater good, and that is to teach Tanjiro to be quicker and more precise with his movements, because it's a critical aspect essential to battle. Knowing that he needs to improve in live combat, Tanjiro visualizes a setting with just him and Obinai free of any distractions. And Tanjiro vs Obinai was an incredibly badass fight, featuring fantastic animation, terrific choreography, and beautiful camera work. This is hands down the highlight of the episode, and seeing that sequence brought to life was beyond satisfying. Ufotable is absolutely killing it with this season, delivering some phenomenal Sakuga moments in a season that feels like a slice of life with Hashira. Tanjiro lands a blow on Obinai and advances to the next Hashira. Obinai is still pissed off at him for trying to mess with his girl, and the funny thing is that Obinai is one of the only characters in the series who is immune to the Tanjiro effect. And if you don't know what the Tanjiro effect is Tanjiro's unique ability to become the therapist of any character he talks to. Tanjiro is the Riz Hashira, but that doesn't work on Obinai, which leaves Tanjiro flabbergasted. Zenitsu then jump scares Tanjiro, which scared the crap out of him and me. And Zenitsu is usually so irritating to watch as a character, but in this episode he was actually hilarious. Was he screaming as always? Yes, but this time it was justifiable, and the reason was Sanami. Zenitsu was desperately trying to escape from Sanami, and while you might think that Sanemi is a tsundere, he's actually a complete psychopath. Obanai's training was nuts, but Sanemi's was just plain disrespectful. Ubuyashiki really needs to check who they're hiring to be Hashira because this is just getting out of hand. The main conflict of this episode revolved around the tense relationship between Sanemi and Genya. When Genya told Sanemi the abilities he gains from eating demons, Sanemi didn't take the news lightly. In a fit of rage, he tried to gouge out his younger brother's eyes. The extreme nature of their relationship was portrayed very well in the anime, thanks largely to the great performances of Sanemi and Genya's voice actors. The contrast in Sanemi's character from the first episode to now is startling. Initially, we see him as the tough, cool demon slayer, who we all kind of suspected was a jerk based on how he treated Nezuko, but he is absolutely toxic. Tanjiro intervenes in their dispute because he can't stand to see such pain, but Sanemi responds, brutally attacking him with overwhelming force. When you look at these three characters, they each embody different stages of grief. Tanjiro represents acceptance. Despite the immense suffering he endured after losing his family, his bond with Nezuko keeps him grounded, helping him to preserve his true self. Nezuko's presence allows them both to cherish the memories of their lost family. Sanemi, on the other hand, is the broken and aggressive type. Like, he is still haunted by the guilt and despair of having to kill his own mother, and he just cannot move past it. The reason he was pushing Genya away is because he doesn't want to lose him too. Sanemi's self-hatred is so profound that he would rather inflict severe harm on Genya than risk getting close with him again and potentially facing more heartbreak. As for Genya, he stands between Tanjiro and Sanemi. At the beginning of the show, he could have easily followed the same dark path as Sanemi. He lacked the talent for using breathing techniques, so he decided to eat demons to gain the strength to fight and to be by his brother's side. He acted alone originally, but in the Swordsmith Village arc, we witnessed him learning to trust and rely on others and even forming friendships. This growth is why Genya is moving forward while Sanemi remains stuck in his grief and anger. Tanjiro manages to hold his own a little while against Sanemi, even though he was getting f***ed up pretty badly. It was so bad that even the regular slayers tried holding Sanemi off. He then gets suspended from training with the Wind Hashira, and him and Zenitsu move on to train with the Stone Hashira Gyome. All in all, this episode was decent. In my opinion, I prefer the last two episodes only because they focused on singular Hashira. This episode switched between three Hashira at breakneck speed, and besides the Tanjiro vs Obanai sparring session, it was pretty much a one-to-one adaptation from the manga. If you guys enjoyed the video, like, share and subscribe. Comment down your thoughts below, and until next week, stay blessed.